Welcome to another episode of Seeing Live. I'm Colion Noir, and we have a very special guest with us today. John Huffer, better known as Chief AJ, is one of the greatest exhibition shooters ever. He joins us live now. How's it going, Chief AJ?
Well, it's really good. I've been looking forward to being on TV with you. Yes, sir.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. I'm glad we finally were able to make that happen. So tell us about the world record rifle shooting that you did.
Well, it's a long story. It's a story of inspiration that they have me go to schools and tell, because I wanted to shoot this world record, and Guinness told me if you did it in your backyard, nobody cared. You had to have public parking, you had to have restrooms, you had to have press covering it. So I went to 11 different places, and I got turned down to shoot a world record. And then the 12th place was deep in the Ozark Hills, Lost Valley Lake. And I told the man I could bring him a crowd there. He'd build a $12 million resort. Nobody was coming to it. He was so far back in the Ozark Hills. So he said, well, I want to see you shoot first, Chief. It was wintertime. I had on a winter coat, and we went out, and I had my Ruger 1022, and I was shooting the little blocks out of there like Annie Oakley did. And he reached in his pocket, and I didn't know what he was going to do, and he flipped a quarter in the air, and I shot a hole through that quarter like that. He went way down range where it carried him to. He picked up the quarter, and he looked through the hole, and he said, Chief, I'll sponsor you to shoot a world record here at Lost Valley Lake, Missouri. And the man cut me $2,400 worth of little block targets. So
Wow.
Then I had a place to shoot, and I had the targets, and then Henson Ammunition sent me 100,000 rounds of 22 long rifle.
100,000?
So I had been 11 months of rejections, but then I got acceptance. And let me tell you what a good feeling that is after 11 rejections.
So with this world record, like I'm trying to understand and fathom how you were able to shoot that many shots without missing. And this was all point shooting, am I correct?
Right. That was all point shooting. The blocks were flying in the air. I would throw with my right hand, and I shoot left-handed, so I would pick up my rifle and track that block and blast it in the air. I had practiced for 6 months at the local gun club. You want to hear this story about the fat guy that came out and harassed me?
I always love stories about fat guys. Let's hear it.
Okay. I'm out there and it's cold, and I'm throwing these blocks up, and I'm practicing out of the clubhouse where they played poker around a potbelly wood stove. He came out. He was holding up his big Indian muscle there, you know. Chief, what are you doing? I said, I'm practicing to shoot a world record. And his response was, oh, ho, 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 and he laughed and laughed. He went back to the clubhouse, and then I could hear around the laughter because he said that silly kid's out there practicing to shoot a world record. And then after I did the record and was on the front cover of Guns magazine, I went back out to the club, and I walked out to where I practiced, and here he came, and he was telling other people there, this is right where I helped the chief. He's right here. He's my friend. I helped him train for this world record. And I got the biggest kick out of that, but I got on the front cover of magazine. Now, I live in a very small farm town that's dead and dying. You know, the downtown has empty storefronts and everything. So from being in a small, flat land, little town. I'll tell you how flat it is around here. You can watch your dog run away for 3 days. So
I live in Texas, so it's pretty flat here too.
From a small town, I shot this world record deep in the Ozark Hills, and that was crossing the gap from a small farm town to being nationally known, and then being known worldwide.
Wow, that's just freaking incredible. I'm still laughing at watching the dog run away for 3 days. So, now, prior to you actually getting this record, had you ever gotten a record before with no cameras? or was it the very first time that you actually accomplished this number of shots?
Well, it was the first time I'd practiced 6 months, but what I did was I wrote letters to every national slick outdoor magazine saying, I will give you exclusive rights if you'll sponsor my world record. And Guns Magazine, they wrote back and said, we want exclusive rights to your story, Chief.
Yeah.
And they sent a photographer deep in the Ozark Hills there, and he photographed every shot. Now, that was the old 35 millimeter with the actual film.
Yeah.
Now, and he was trying to film a miss, but I didn't know that until it was after it was over.
Now, have you been able to accomplish this record again or break it?
I was 50 years old then, and now Christmas Day I'm going to enter my 80th year.
That's amazing.
So I don't think I'll try that quite many. Now, what happened was, it took 8 days of shooting. On the 5th day,
Jesus.
I hit the wall. Have you run a marathon?
No. I'm pretty smart. I choose not to run marathons.
Oh, well, the marathon runners, they talk about the brick wall that you get to, and you got to get past that. Well, on the 5th day, I hit that brick wall. My knees were swollen up. I was retaining water like a sissy. I mean, I had...
So were you shooting all day for those 8 days, or were you shooting for a block of time each day?
I was shooting 14 hours a day to get to 40,060 blocks out of the air. And that 5th day, I laid underneath the table where the blocks were having this self-pity party. And the lady promoter, she came and she looked, she said, Chief, I got hard copy coming at 9. You going to get up and shoot? No. I got TV coming at 10. You going to get up and shoot? No. And she said, do you remember the kickoff party and you met my 3 sons? And I said, yeah, so what? She said, well, do you hurt like when I gave birth to them? And I said, no, lady. I got up and I threw a block in the air and I started shooting, and she got me through that brick wall.
Wow.
She gave me the motivation feats that I needed. And then when I got through that brick wall, I just coasted the rest of the way.
Really? So you find that second win, I'm pretty sure you just went ahead and just breezed on through it. Now, after you got the record, how long was it before that day and between when you actually picked up a gun to shoot again? Because I'm pretty sure you were probably sick of shooting. You probably didn't want to see a gun afterwards.
No, because I had borrowed 18 Ruger 1022s from my Ruger collector friends. And I said, take a chance with the Chief. You may get back a used, a bruised, broken rifle, or you could get back a world record rifle. So I was wrapping them up and sending them all these fans. They're getting a world record and they're getting a medallion in it. The Chief used this very rifle to shoot a world record.
Did you keep any of those rifles? Do you have any of them now?
No. One of my friends, Roger Dorsett, he loaned me a pair of consecutive serial numbers. And within a month after that shoot, he paid $63 for the pair, and he got $2,000 for the pair. And they went on up to $6,000 for one of the rifles that I used in the shoot.
Wow.
And I couldn't afford to keep one.
Wow, that's great. That's incredible. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk more with this living legend, and we'll be back.